Welcome to Lean and Clean with Fitness Chef Christine. I am Christine, your host, where we talk about everything food, family, faith, all the good things, all the things that make us healthier. So today I am absolutely thrilled to welcome my guest, Atara. She's going to talk to us about what she does to help men and women. And so I really appreciate you spending time with us. And can you tell me, I know a little bit about you, but can you tell our guests just a
Yeah,
little bio about yourself?
absolutely. Thank you, Christine, for having me. It's so fun. I love sitting with chefs because they know the food world. Yes, yeah, it's so good. So, yeah, my name is Atara, and I am first and foremost a mama of four and a homeschooling mom. That really shapes.
A little busy, just a little.
Yes, I know. Yeah, it shapes my life for sure. I'm licensed marriage and family therapist. And what that means is I just received a little extra training in marriage and child development and couples. I've been practicing for 13 years. It is
Crazy.
wild to say that. Yes, in private practice for almost 7 years. What my journey was 10 years ago in 2014, I had a complete health crash. And what that was finishing my graduate school, which was my classwork. I had 20 hours of practicum a week, plus I was working full time, 40 hours a week.
Little
And
burnout.
yeah, exactly. My body was like, no, we're done. We're not, we're not going to do this anymore. And so, right after a couple months after I got married, my body just stopped and I could not get out of bed for more than a couple hours at a time. And that is when I went to my doctor and I started my labs. And they, of course, looked at me and said, nothing's wrong.
Yeah, don't you
And I
love
said,
that? You're
no.
like, oh, it's
Yeah. Oh
going
my gosh.
good.
Yes. And someone used this phrase, medical gaslighting, the other day. And I was like, that is exactly how I felt. Like,
Yeah.
you're trying to tell me I can't be out of bed for more than 2 hours. Something is wrong. And I'm clearly a high energy person. So that was
You're like,
definitely something
something
was
is
wrong.
not the same.
Exactly. So that started me on my journey of looking into alternative practitioners. The term we use now is holistic medicine. And basically, I discovered my neurotransmitters. All of my fight or flight anxiety neurotransmitters were through the roof.
Going banana.
And and my calming neurotransmitters were zilch, like non-existent. And what this practitioner described to me was like, you're constantly in go mode. We tracked my sleep. I was waking up 17 times a night.
Mm-hmm.
So you could imagine I was really exhausted
That
because I'm not
doesn't surprise me at
sleeping.
all. It doesn't surprise
Yeah,
me because as women,
yes,
that's what we're always in go mode. We're with the
exactly.
kids, with the husband, with the work, with the always moving, grooving. And as a grandmother, I'm the same way. I've not stopped at all. And
Right.
I've had
It's
those
constant.
crashes.
Yeah. And especially as women, you're absolutely right. We try to do all the things all the time. So fast forward, I got my health on track. I started life again. A couple years later, I had my first baby. Then I had my second baby and my third baby. They each are 18 months apart. So for a month, we had three under the age of three,
Brave
or
woman.
three and under. That's how I want to say
Brave.
that.
Brave.
It was wild. Those three babies were each in the NICU. Okay. So you talk about
Yeah.
pregnancy and breastfeeding. Okay. It does a toll on your body. And then you add the stress and trauma of having babies in the NICU and babies being sick and this uncertainty. And my body, again, was just donezo. So this is where I started to discover minerals and the importance of minerals. And minerals are so crucial because they just don't impact one system in our body. They impact our whole being and the entire system. And so that's why I am obsessed with minerals. I love to talk about minerals, and minerals changed my life. I went from suffering from postpartum anxiety that really manifested as rage, which was really scary for me. I'd never been an angry person. I'd never been a terribly impatient yeller. And suddenly I was just like losing it on my spouse, on my young babies. They're not doing anything. They're like 2, 3 years old. And it was intense.
And
And so as
you know you're doing it, but it's out of your control. Am I right?
it felt totally out of my control. That was probably the scariest part. Was I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I can't do anything about this. And so that's when I started to discover mineral balancing. And it was just a game changer. We talk about the crucial four. So the crucial four minerals being magnesium, potassium, calcium, and sodium. And I think in our American diets, we don't need to be too concerned with sodium. We usually get enough sodium in our diet. I see a lot of people supplement with calcium, and that's something that can create some more imbalance. So we just encourage people to get real food calcium, right? So in dairy, in different foods, different meats actually have calcium, fish has calcium, right? So getting it from food sources. Potassium's another one we get from food sources, right? Sweet potatoes, regular potatoes are great sources of potassium. Apricots is one of those. We're like, oh, okay.
I
You
love
love apricots. Good.
it.
Yes. Coconut water. That's my go-to. If
I like
I'm
it too.
feeling a
I
little,
like it.
yes. Yeah. So I'll just pour some coconut water in a glass with some lime and a little bit of salt at the bottom. Oh my gosh,
Now,
delicious.
what's your preferential salt? I used Celtic
Oh,
sea salt, but I know there's this big debate now about pink Himalayan salt and all
there
that.
is. Yes, yes. So my actual favorite, someone highlighted this one to me. It's called Baja Gold. And why she loves Baja Gold and I love Baja Gold is it also has other minerals in it. It's
Right.
not just the sodium. You're also getting a sprinkle of magnesium. You're also getting a sprinkle of
I
some
like it.
other good stuff that your body needs. Yep.
And
So
buy it
that's my
online?
favorite. What's that?
You buy it online
I
or
do. Yep.
okay,
Buy it online. You can buy it direct. I think Amazon also carries it. And I usually rotate. I will do Celtic sea salt. Sometimes I do the Baja Gold. I know, oh, what's the one up in Redmond's? A lot
okay.
of people really enjoy Redmond's. That comes from Utah. So that's not far. I'm up in Montana. So that's not far from me.
It's okay.
They can
Nothing
ship. They can ship, right?
farmland.
Exactly. Gotta love that. So, yes, what this did for me was helped my brain and my body because they're connected. There's no
Right.
line across our neck that disconnects these. We got to work with both. And minerals hit both of those items. And Mark Heyman's a wonderful, I think he's a doctor, and he wrote that stress is the body's inability to make energy for the mind to respond to its environment. I
Yeah.
just think that's so beautiful and all inclusive.
It reminds me, my daughter, when she was 16, she had a head injury and
Oh,
it brought on epilepsy. And so
oh
she would
wow.
have these seizures, and the doctors would say, "Oh, they're probably not seizures.
Mhm,
It's probably just her anxiety." And I
mhm.
said, "I don't." Her eyes roll back. She can't keep her head up.
Oh,
Her fingers get
wow.
stuck. Like her muscles all tense up. You can't talk to her. She's got tears rolling. And they're like, "We'll do some testing." And they're like, "Nothing showed up on the test. It reminds me of what you said." And then we get
Yeah.
in the car, and she'd have a seizure, and this kept
Oh,
happening.
oh my
Finally, I
gosh.
recorded one, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's a seizure." Really?
Oh, Christine. Oh my
Then, like,
gosh.
try this medicine. And then she was like a zombie. Okay, try
Oh,
this medicine. And then she was like going all over the place. And it's a
yeah.
scary thing when you're trying to help your child and nobody
Yes.
has answers. So we did what you did. We went to a functional medicine doctor. And
Yes.
finally, he really tracked it with her cycles. Noticed
Oh,
there's some correlation with her high estrogen levels, and we balanced
uh-huh.
things out. With pregnancy, it's a little bit crazy because her hormones are all over the place, but she's been able
Yeah.
to pretty much manage it from time 16. Now she's
Oh my gosh.
29.
Uh-huh.
Hope she doesn't
That's
listen to this one.
amazing.
But yeah, I mean, it's really interesting when you really look at the self-healing properties of your body and when giving
Yes.
it the good nutrition that it needs and the
Yeah.
minerals and the vitamins and
Yeah.
how much of a difference it can be.
Absolutely. And Christine, God designed us to heal. He
Right.
designed our bodies to do
That's the
so.
beauty of it. And the older I get, the more I learn about that. And
Mhm.
it's just an amazing thing.
It
People always
is.
laugh at me because I say, I never go to the doctors. You don't do well visits? And I said, no, because then they're trying to find something wrong with me. And I'd
Right.
rather, like, I just don't do it.
Right. Yeah, totally. I've said the more that I've stepped away from conventional medicine,
The
the
better,
healthier I've gotten.
right?
Yeah.
This
And
is,
hey, I don't want to knock doctors. There's a time and a place for emergency medicine and
you can
it's
do both.
important.
You can
But
do,
exactly.
and I
Exactly.
encourage people do both, but be informed. Be
Yeah.
informed because their
Love that.
job is to pretty much sell you prescriptions and they fix
Exactly.
the problem, but not necessarily the underlying problems.
Right.
This is why I like to talk to people like you because I really
Mhm.
learn more every time I talk to somebody. And every time somebody
Mhm.
listens, they learn what you have to tell them. So
Exactly.
I really appreciate you sharing your knowledge.
Yeah.
Where, how would you know that you're deficient in minerals? Is there a
Mm.
test for it? Is there some way to figure out what you need?
Yes, absolutely. So the main way would be it's called an HTMA, and that stands for hair tissue mineral analysis. And there are practitioners out there that will run that for you. It's a fairly cheap test. You just cut off a chunk of your hair close to the scalp. Why this? Why would we do this? Because your blood is made or designed to stay in homeostasis as much as possible. So this is the problem when we look at our blood work or people look to draw blood and go, oh, and that's why we get the answer. There's nothing wrong with you. Yeah, of course, your blood is the very last place where any dysfunction is going to show up because the blood has to stay in balance to keep us alive. right? So our body will pull from every other spot in our body to keep our blood at homeostasis. Okay. So an HTMA is from your hair. And what is cool about it is it will not just take a blood markers also literally that day, that minute that it's drawn. So,
Right.
and an HTMA is a 3-month look at what is going on with your minerals.
Awesome.
It is really cool. The way that I like to work with people is a little bit more intuitive. So we will look at symptoms mostly. And really what I have designed and what it's come down to in my coaching is a basic kind of 5-6 process step of incorporating really similar things at varying levels for people. And again, we talk about those crucial 4, right? There's a couple other ones that really changed my life. Copper, making sure I had zinc, right? My B vitamins in line. These kinds of things really move the marker for me. Selenium and iodine, right? All of those minerals. But overall, most people, and I'm talking like magnesium deficiency, for example,
Yes.
98% of the people you're going to come across are deficient in magnesium.
Right.
What is happening? A couple things. We are stressed. We are running at such a high pace. Yes. I was listening to your episode on anxiety and prescribing rest, living a balanced life that God talks about in the Bible. He commanded a Sabbath. That was for a reason, right? His law always protects.
Really hard to do. I have to consciously make an effort. If I want to get 8 hours of sleep, I have to back it up. What time do I have to get up in the morning? What time do I need to go to bed to get it? Because even this morning when my daughter called me, I was like, oh gosh, okay, I got to race out of the house. I got to be up by 6:30, out of the door by 7, drive to her studio, get there by 8, do yoga at 8:30, be ready at 9. It's go.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
you feel like your hair's on fire. Like, holy cow, when is it going to slow down?
Yes, absolutely.
But how quickly after somebody starts to get this good stuff in their body, should they feel a difference?
Oh my gosh. So for me, and when I've worked with clients, the first thing that I will add in is the magnesium, especially for clients that have that kind of frantic energy often, or I can't handle stress the way I used to. Okay, let's get you going on magnesium in a week.
Yeah.
Christine, in even a couple of days.
I had the worst leg cramps of my life. I teach water fitness, and for the summer, it was just about every day. And then Pilates and take yoga and strength training and running after my grandson. And I was getting middle of the night leg cramps like nobody's business. Magnesium and iron supplements. I have anemia. So all that was a lifesaver. I had to bump it up, but wow, so much better. And me and my pickle juice are really good friends too, because I needed that salty goodness. But I'll tell you, it was almost immediate. Like they just stopped. It was amazing.
I love it. Yes, your mineral stores can change very quickly. Like you gave the beautiful example. That's the example I talk about. When we talk about stress, like people are like, well, I'm not stressed. Oh, okay. Did you like rush out the door this week or have to yell at your kids, get your shoes on, we're late, right? Like that's stress. And what we're requiring from our body is using the magnesium for our neurotransmission, our synthesis, for neuromuscular conduction, right? My being able to move my hand through the air smoothly, that has to do with magnesium. It uses my magnesium to have that process, right? Calcium, right? If we don't have our calcium, we're extra irritable. We're extra susceptible.
Oh, I'm going to have my calcium.
Yes. Yeah. Go drink some raw milk, get some butter in today. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And then we're also likely to have rumination, right? So then we're going to sit and we're going to roll that thought over and over in our mind. Oh my gosh, I was late and they didn't listen. And we can't get over that, right? And we can't move on from that because, the calcium deficiency adds to that. Sodium keeps your nervous system regulated, right? And I think biblically, right? You're the salt of the earth. What does that mean? Right? That had multiple meanings. Yeah, we need it. It's important. It's crucial.
I was laughing when you said people say they're not stressed. And then you see them, they're in line for Starbucks for the giant caffeinated beverage.
Oh,
girl. Later on, they're drinking the Diet Coke. And then later on, they're having more caffeine because you're on the go. So sometimes I think we don't even recognize the stress levels that we actually have.
Yes.
I do because I'm like a frantic, crazy lunatic, but not everybody recognizes it.
Yeah.
And I do have ADHD, so my brain is always on the rapid. But then eventually everything crashes. And I'll just have a sick day where I just can't get out of bed. and then rejuvenate and start again. But I
Yes.
do agree that when you are balanced and when you give your body what it needs,
Mhm.
it's a miracle.
What
This
can
is what it's
happen?
supposed to feel like. Who knew?
Yes, yes. And I
So
love too that there's provision all around us. God gave us everything we need all around us in abundance, even to be able to heal
we
that
have
way
to
as well.
recognize that and know what to do. And that's where you come in. So how then can people get your assistance? How can they get in
Mhm.
touch with you?
Yeah. So, like I said, I've been practicing therapy for a number of years and I'm moving into the coaching world, which I'm really excited about. So,
Great.
if you want some free information, you just want to get a feel for what I do, I'm on Instagram at atara.parkinson, and that's ATARA dot and then Parkinson. We always say like the disease, unfortunately. Yeah.
Got
But,
it.
and then you could just email me directly. And my email is ataraparkinson@protonmail.com. And my website is currently in the works for my coaching, which I'm really
Okay.
excited
Do
about.
you
So
have a
that'll should be up.
do you have a Facebook
I
group?
do, I do. Yeah, you can find me under Atara Michelle under Facebook. Yep, that's and I'll send that to you, Christine, so you can
Great.
find me and
And
connect
I
with
will
me
link
there
it
as well.
all and have it in everybody's show
Beautiful.
notes so everybody can get in touch with you.
I love
So
it.
do you do one-on-one coaching or group coaching, or how does that work?
I currently do one-on-one, and what I'm doing is a 12-week package. And
Okay.
so you have 12 weeks, 12 sessions with me. And what we do is we build, and we don't just do the minerals, because, like I said, the minerals are a lot, but we also have to look at balance in our lives, right? We also have to look at what are some small tweaks, what are some easy steps that I can do to help my body produce more energy, right? And do what it's trying to do to heal, whatever. So, like things like getting morning sunshine on our eyes, movement, gentle movement, right? If our that's what our nervous system needs. So these are things that I also incorporate. Diet is a huge one. We don't just want to take supplements. We also want to
Right.
look at how can we change our diet and incorporate things that again are nourishing and are producing the results that we want for our body. So that's
Talking
what the 12 weeks
language.
is focused on. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm in full agreement with what you're saying. And I think I really encourage people to reach out and get the
Yeah.
help that they need because
Thanks,
we
Christine.
spend too long trying to figure it out ourselves.
Yeah.
And you can really shortcut that process by talking to a professional and get
Yes.
the help that you need right away. Why
Yes.
suffer longer?
Yes.
I went
Absolutely.
years with my daughter, doctor to doctor,
Mhm.
when really one visit to the functional medical doctor changed just
Just
about
did.
everything.
Yep.
And it be open to different ways, be open to the knowledge that's already out there and provided for us. And so take advantage of that. But yeah, it
Yeah.
might be a small investment, but it is so worth it. It's so
Yes, it's
worth
so
it.
worth it. Yeah, I have a client right now. She's in her mid 60s and she was like, when she came to me, she was like, Atara, I'm blown away. You gave me so much hope. And so now I'm like, yeah, I'm the hope dealer. All
There
about
you
that, right? Like just divvy out
go.
that hope for people because it can be so discouraging when
You
you're,
gotta be
whoever
brave,
is telling be brave. I love that. It's so true. Fear can often hold us back from
Right.
reaching out and getting more.
But
Yeah.
you know what I love about what you're doing? It's taking something that's already out there that God provided and
Yep.
allowing us to tap into that
Yeah.
and heal ourselves
Just utilize it,
versus all
please.
these prescriptions and all these concoctions
Right.
that we have no idea what's in there. And if you
Yeah.
ever listen to the TV and they have a commercial for one of those things, this
Mm.
could cause death and this could cause your
Right.
to
The
fall off.
laundry list.
Oh yes, let me sign up for that one.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. And it's funny you mentioned that, Christine, because medication, specifically benzos, which are utilized in mental health for mental health systems, deplete your minerals further.
Yeah.
So you get stuck on this hamster wheel. This is another one that I often talk about with clients and that I've lived is the sugar wheel. And
So
so
we
guess what?
I'm
Yeah,
very,
deficient in
very good at telling
magnesium.
people get rid of your sugar, get rid of your sugar because it's in everything. And if we don't look
Yes,
for it, we don't even realize how much sugar we're consuming. And
absolutely.
producers are very sneaky. They call it by
Mm-hmm.
all different names, try and trick you to eating
Mm-hmm.
more. And it's so
Yeah,
addictive that we just keep putting it in our body. And it does
exactly.
deplete us of those minerals. And it does make us feel you get those
Yep.
sugar crashes. And I
Yep.
always tell my
Yeah, your
grandchild,
blood sugar
get the sugar
dysregulation. Yeah.
bugs, like the sugar bugs are eating away your
Hmm.
teeth. Don't eat that
Right.
stuff. Especially with the American diet, we don't realize how much harm we're doing to ourselves by consuming that amount of sugar. And
Right.
I was a pastry chef for 20 years.
Oh,
So
okay.
I
Yeah.
was a sugar pusher and I still love
Mhm.
my sweets. I still love
Of
it.
course.
And balance. I'm a lot.
Exactly.
I have this much sugar where I used to have this much sugar a day,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Exactly. And that's one of those areas too where I think people feel like they don't have any control over.
Yes.
I know I felt that way. Like I had to have it. I was like, I have to have my ice
Well,
cream.
you go
I
through
have to have,
a detox. You go through a
yeah,
major detox when you stop
yes,
having it. I was like,
exactly.
between giving up
Exactly.
sugar and giving up Diet Coke, I felt like I was a major drug addict. I was
Uh-huh.
like shaky and headache,
Yep.
and I felt
Yes.
like nauseous. You don't recognize how
Right.
reliant your body is in that. So once I healed myself from all of that, then it was time to start taking the magnesium, start taking all the
Mhm.
good stuff, and
Yeah.
holy cow, it was amazing.
And I think too, you could do that simultaneously, Christine. You can start working on getting the sugar out. The magnesium is going to help with the self control.
Right.
When I started getting my magnesium in check, I went, okay, I can say no. I feel like I can say, no, that's okay. I'm not going to eat the ice cream, or I'm going to say no, thank you to dessert today. Like when before I did not feel like I had that capability. So we're depleted in magnesium. We reach the sugar depletes our magnesium more, and around we go on this awful train.
See, I like it. My hope
Yeah,
dealer. It's good. I'm going to put all in the show notes, everything that
love
you've
it.
told us and all the information on how to get in touch with you. And
Perfect.
I'm just really excited for people to work with you because I think
Yes.
it will be life changing.
Yes. And that's like a personal guarantee I have for people is know that when you do the 12 weeks with me, you are going to, if you do put in your work, you're going to come out with a different life on the other side. And part of my work is I walk that with you. What do you want that to look like? I'm not going to prescribe that for you,
That's
right? That's not my job.
Nope,
Yeah.
that's the best. I like that. And there's no reward without some risk. And I
Mhm.
know people are very nervous to work with people
Mhm.
online, but I'm telling you, some of the best people I've ever worked with have been
Mhm.
online coaches and online, people
Yes.
I've met through the podcast and all kinds of things.
Mhm.
So I truly appreciate you taking your time to
Oh,
explain your story and what your journey was and how you can help people. And I
yeah.
hope my listeners will reach out. And if you've loved this episode, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up and spread the word so that more people can work with Atara and she can help the maximum level of people. So
Amazing.
make
Thank
sure
you,
you
Christine.
subscribe. It's free. Do all the good stuff.
All the
And
things. Love it.
just in closing, I want to say that I pray for each and every person that has listened to
Mm,
our episodes, that are
yeah.
here with us, that they are blessed with good health and a long
Mhm.
and happy life. So
Yes.
thank you.
Amen.
Thank
Yes,
you all for
Jesus.
being with us.
Awesome.
And keep in contact with me and let me know how things are going.
I will for sure. Thank you
All
so
right,
much,
my
Christine.
friend. Mwah. Have a great
All
day.
right.
Be
All right. You
blessed.
too. Bye
Bye.
bye.